something love, hold on tight.
Hi guys, I'm Annabelle and welcome to Meeple Village. Today we're going to do a playthrough of the adventure games to discover the story, The Grand Hotel Abaddon. So join me at the table and let's see what this mystery is all about. Alright, so I have the game ready to go. I've completed setup, which there isn't much setup. You just go through the how to play the game, gives you a couple of, which are, by the way, when you're reading the instructions, it's like you're doing what? But as you play, you get it. But all I've really done is pick my characters. So in a solo game, you play with with two or more characters. So I went with two because I don't want to overcomplicate things. I'm going to be playing as Dr. Susan Pendergast, who is a retired historian. I am horrible with history, so I'm not sure why I picked her. And she has a couple of personal cards. She has a broken pocket watch. The watch is not ticking, maybe it has stopped, cannot be exchanged because we can't exchange items at any time during the game. And then I have my room key, of course, because I'm staying at a hotel. And then I'm going to be Jack Keening, who is the up-and-coming cook. And he has a taste of the New Century cookbook. There are 4 crucial pages missing from this cookbook, and this cannot be exchanged, and I have my room key. So there are 2 things going on, basically. We have, of course, the mystery of the hotel that we're trying to uncover, but at the same time, we have our own personal missions that we're trying to accomplish. So he's trying to find those 4 pages, and we don't know what her objective is. I mean, I do know because I played the game before, but you don't know. But most probably we'll find out together and soon. So I'm going to keep a lot of this stuff out of camera just because the game is going to start taking a lot of space. We're going to go through the first chapter. I'm going to try to finish the first chapter, or at least give you as much as I can, show you as much as I can so you know how the gameplay works. But I don't want to spoil the whole thing for you. I believe there are 3 chapters. Anyway, so here's the cards that we're going to be using. These are numbered from 10 to, I believe, 84. Let's check. Yes, to 84. And these are our adventure cards, and we're going to be using those to, of course, try to solve the puzzles of the hotel. These are cards, very different cards. The C's are our character cards. That's C2, C1. There's 2 other characters that you can play as. And then the game will tell you when to read them. So I'm going to keep them off camera because you don't use them that often. And then these are our location cards, which you're going to see in a second. But before we do that, the game just instructs us to start reading entry number 100. And that's basically a lot of what you're going to be doing in the game is going through a book and looking at numbers and reading entries. But for now, let's go ahead and read entry number 100. So conveniently, entry 100 is the first entry in the game, and it's long, so I'm not going to read all of this. You can read it if you want. I guess if I don't, you'll have less spoilers. But basically it introduces the characters, and it tells you that you're in the hotel and that you're stuck in the dining room of the hotel. Let's see, the lights begin to flicker. There's you're stuck. There's Madame Florex, who is the manager of the hotel right now, or I guess the owner, and the lights come off and then they come on again. And let's see, so when these 2 arrows appear, it tells you to keep reading. So we keep reading over here, and then we have to find one of the tokens that I didn't show you because I didn't want to spoil anything, and take it out, so we will. And then place figures on location card A and place the NPC 94 face up there as well. Take adventures card M1 and R1 and read them out loud. And let's see, then read the location card A description in the adventure book, which is right here. And now it's completely up to you. So, and 2 more things, which is exactly what I told you. These means you keep reading. All right. So now we read A. You look around the dining room. So this is kind of like the description of the location, which we haven't looked at yet. But I guess since we're going to be reading the description, I can show it to you. Let's see if I can fit everything. There we go. Okay, so you look around the dining room. The double door to the hotel lobby on the opposite wall is stuck shut. That's 101, so this door is shut. On the wall are historical photographs, 201, right here, 301 and 401, so you see these 3. Next to them, there is a box of switches set into a recess in the wall. That's this one. So there's light switches. On a table near you is a decorated butter dish over here. And on another dish is a half-eaten plate of fruit right there. And this is our location. This is where we start. I'm going to put everybody here and then we'll get started. So this is M1, which is one of the cards that they asked us to read. I believe this is our objective. You're stuck in the Grand Hotel Abaddon. Maybe the place really is haunted. To get out, you will first need more information about the hotel and its history. And since the ghostly phenomenon are certainly related to the historic fire, you hope to get closer to solving the riddle by going to the burned out bell tower. Explore the hotel and find an entrance to the bell tower. And then this tells you how to interact with NPCs. I'll leave it there for you guys to read it, but you'll see it in a second because we are going to talk to Madame Florex. And finally, there's a card that tells you how a turn goes or gives you a turn overview. And we should probably look at that. So at the start of your turn, you may move as far as you like on location cards that are displayed face up. Then choose one of these actions. Investigate a location. Combine adventure cards with locations, and during your turn you may exchange as many adventure cards as you like with your team, including giving nothing to get stuff, as long as you are at the same location, unless you're playing with the free exchange variant, which I guess we will, because there's no reason to be going up and down just to give one of us an item, especially since we're playing solo. So just in case you didn't read the intro, because I know I didn't want to spoil it, but yes, you might have now gathered from the chapter 1 card that there was a fire. I believe it was like 50 years ago, and the bell tower has been closed off, and we need to find an entrance to get to the tower to investigate what happened back then. And the place seems to be haunted. We don't know for sure. Okay, so that's that. Now they did say it has to do with history, and we have a historian here, so that's convenient. All right, so because we're just gonna get started, so I'm gonna have the historian ask the lady. She doesn't have to move; they're in the same place. Here, let's put them up here. How about that? They're convenient slots up there. So I'm just going to talk to the lady, and to talk to the lady, I use the location and the number of the person I want to talk to, and I go to the book and we read an entry. So here's A94. Madame Florex doesn't seem to be in the mood to chat. The mysterious incident has her worried. It isn't easy having to be responsible for such a strange building. And do you think that guests are thankful for all my efforts? Of course not. I mean, would the occasional thanks or maybe a little gift now and then be too much to hope for? And so that kind of gives us a clue that she's dying for a gift or a thank you. I don't know how to talk back to her. We can't. So, but yeah, that was that. And that was my turn. That was Dr. Susan's turn. Now we go into Jack. So Jack is the cook of or an upcoming cook. So I guess he'll be interested in the food stuff. So we're going to go to 501 and see what we get there. So again, I just look for the entry and we'll read away. The butter dish is decorated with a unique design. As you open it, you discover a small butter knife. Take adventure card 11. So of course, adventure card 11 is probably the butter knife. There it is, greasy butter knife, not just a butter knife, but it's a greasy one. And now Jack adds that, but again, we can exchange items whenever we want. Okay, so that was Jack's turn, so everybody took a turn. Now we start again. So now is Dr. Susan's, and you see how this is growing. Probably I'll take it off camera. Most probably what I'll do is I'll keep them behind the character, and when I need them, I'll retrieve them, just because I know it's gonna start getting very busy, especially when we add locations to the map. All right, so well, she's the historian, so I think maybe studying a couple of these pictures. So let's try 401. This photo shows two girls in the hotel garden. They have tied two tin cans together with a piece of string and are playing telephone. The plaque under the picture reads, "Children playing in hotel garden, 1874. So not much. They didn't give me anything. Come on, girls. Well, I can't expect to get something from just looking at a picture, right? But he's gonna continue to explore the food. because he wants, maybe he'll find a recipe, I don't know. So let's go to 601 for Jack's turn. To your disappointment, the bowl of fruit has been almost completely consumed. Only a single lemon lies next to a folded cloth napkin. Take adventure cards 16 and 28. Well, at least Jack is finding stuff. So now he's got a cloth napkin and a juicy lemon. Okay, so that was the end of the second turn for everybody. So I think it's time to get this door open. Susan can continue to explore the pictures, or we can exchange items. I think the butter knife might be a tool to use, but it is greasy and it's going to be slippery. And again, I've played this before. I want to save us some time. So I think Jack is going to give our friend here the cloth napkin and the greasy butter knife, and we're going to combine them. And the way you combine them is you use the lower number first. So 11, 16, we're going to look for that entry and see what happens. You wipe off the butter knife with the napkin. Much better. Now you can hold it without getting butterfingers. Put adventure card 11 back in the box and take adventure card 17. So adventure card 17 is a clean butter knife. So now I'm going to try. Yes, I did play the game. I actually completed all 3 chapters. And I found it pretty interesting. The story was really good, I gotta say. It made sense. A lot of times with these escape rooms, sometimes I have no idea what's going on in the story. I'll be honest. It even happened with the Star Wars one. But in any case, this one kind of made a little bit more sense. Maybe it's because of the setting. But I'm going to, but then again, I did play it, and some things I remember, some things I don't. So we might fail completely and have to try another way. But I'm going to try the knife on the door with Susan. Like Clue. Guilty. Since she hasn't taken a turn, all she did was exchange items, and that's allowed in between whenever you wander in your turn. So 17-101. And by the way, sometimes you go look, like here's 17. Actually, 17-101. That's not. Oh yeah, that is the one. No, that's not the one. 17-101. It's here. Okay. So what happens is if you look for an entry and it's not there, that means that those things don't go together. Sometimes though, you'll read something and I'll be like, well, good try, but that's not how it works. And you're like, oh well, I found the entry, but it didn't make sense anyways. I was combining the wrong items. But let's see. Gripping it tightly, you ram the knife into the crack of the door and push against it with all your might. The other guests gather around you and urge you on. This is going to make you quite a hero. Oh no, the silver blade bends and you slip and land on your rear end. Somebody behind you giggles. How embarrassing. If you want to get the door open, you will probably need a stronger type of metal. Okay, yes, so see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I read all that and that wasn't it. And of course, now I remember how it's supposed to be done. But sure, okay. Or at least I think I remember. So the butter knife wasn't it, although it was a good try. So now Jack is going to come to the door. And if I remember correctly, you have to use your room key, which, you know, trying the butter knife kind of gives you a clue that we need something stronger. And the room key has a stronger metal. So again, I think we need both room keys, which we're going to have to wait until Susan can get over here. But let's try 53-101. If there is a check next to 101, which there isn't, 161. Otherwise 261. Okay, so we'll go to 261. Here we go. The door doesn't even have a keyhole for you to stick your room key into, but the large metal tag on the key ring looks perfectly solid. Do you think you can use it to pry open the door? I'm hoping. The tag does in fact fit perfectly into the crack of the door, and you push forcefully against it. Indeed, the door starts to budge, but unfortunately not enough. You simply have too little leverage. Do you think it might work if somebody was there to help you? Turn your room key card face down. You won't be able to use it for anything else until an entry tells you that you can turn it over again. Place a check next to location 101. And that's how we get the check. And then, of course, so that was him, right? So now we're done with everybody's turn. We go back to Susan, and Susan has to come and help with her key, multi-purpose key. So 51-101. So right here on the top, is there a check mark next to 101? If so, 161. Using 2 metal key tags jammed into the crack of the door, the two of you working together get enough leverage to pull forcefully. After some strenuous effort, the door swings open with a groan. But as you study the door to find out what might have wedged it shut, you see nothing. Very puzzling. You retrieve the keys which had fallen to the floor. Uncover all the adventure cards that you previously had to keep face down and mark location 101 with a check. Place location card B face up to the right of location card A and then read B. So here's our new location, and B says the hotel lobby is done in a magnificent Art Nouveau style. On the left, a spiral staircase leads up to the guest rooms, 107. The guest book lies open on the reception counter, that's 207. In a cupboard next to it, the room keys are sorted into their cubby holes, 307. The main entrance to the hotel, 407, is across from there. Next to the entrance is an old piano with a bust on it, 607. To the right, a short hallway leads to the hotel bar, and that's 707. And the lobby is illuminated by a richly decorated chandelier, 807. As you enter the lobby, a cowering figure peeps out from behind the reception desk and slowly rises. It's Monsieur Jerome, the concierge. His entire body is trembling. Did you hear those spooky noises? And then the dining room door slams shut, just like that. And then the front door too. What is going on here? As she hears his voice, Madame Florex calls from the dining room. Jerome, you cowardly fool. Why aren't you helping us get out of here? Take NPC 95 and place him face up on location card B, which is the new location. Okay, so here's our concierge, and I'm gonna try to spoil as little as I can. When I played it the first time, I went through every number and I read what it was all about. But now that I kind of know what we have to do and I don't want to spoil too much, I'm going to try not to uncover every secret in case you want to play at home and you want to uncover all the secrets, because I know there's some stuff that you're not going to be able to resolve during chapter 1. You're going to need to go to chapter 2 and sometimes even chapter 3 in order to complete your the stuff that you want to complete. For example, I know the chandelier, we're not going to be able to complete it now because we're not going to find the stuff that we need until later in the game. So because of that, I'm going to try and keep it as, even though again, I might forget and we're going to be in a pickle if I do. But again, so I'm just going to, whose turn is it? She was last. She came to the door last, I believe. So Jack is going to come over here to head over to the bar, which I'm going to read 707. So if you walk along this hallway, you will get to the hotel bar. Take location C and place it face up to the right of location card B. And then you set your figure on location card C and read C. So here's the bar, and the fancifully decorated hotel bar is dimly lit. To your left, a muted conversation trickles out from a sheltered alcove. That's 101 right here. A bartender is manning the bar down here. There is a large doorway arch, 311, built into the opposite wall. The bar is equipped with comfortable lounge chairs and low tables. The table at the back has an interesting shape, this one, and you can just make out a small box in a dark corner, 611. And already our hotel is growing, and I want to make sure everything is on camera. So that's it for Jack. He explored our location. I think that's it. When you're playing solo, and you know, it's like, can I just explore? But in any case, all right. So we're gonna leave this dining room behind, and we're gonna go up to the rooms. Because I know there's stuff up there that we're gonna eventually need. So we're gonna read 107 and we're gonna explore the rooms. The old spiral staircase leads to the guest rooms on the upper floor. Place location card D face down above location card A. This one goes face down. Make sure that the small triangle symbol in the lower center of the location card D is lined directly above the top left corner of location card A, then face down in a row to the right locations card D. Of card D, place location card E, F, and finally G. So we're going to get 4 rooms because there's 4 players in the game. Turn over any location to which you have room keys for. From now on, any open rooms are accessible to all characters. Just be sure to read the corresponding entries the first time you walk in. Okay, so here's our rooms, and I won't flip them until we're ready to go in there so that I remember to read the entry before I start exploring, because the entry will tell us what's in the room, kind of like what all of the other entries have been doing. But he's gonna go into, so it's Jack's turn, he's gonna go into here and check that little box on 611. Says you bravely venture into the dark corner of the bar. There is a yellow rose lying on the box. As you pick it up, the bartender smirks in your direction. Go for it. The ladies love things like that. Take adventure card 13. And there is our yellow flower. So Jack's got that. Okay, and then I'm gonna have Dr. Susan go into her room. So she has room key number, so it has a letter, it's D. So D is available, so we're gonna flip it and we're gonna go read a description of the room that she is staying in. This must be the oldest guest room in the hotel. It definitely hasn't been updated in a long time. A gigantic mirror dominates the room, 103. Under that is an old dresser, 203. Next to the bed hangs a thick pull cord, 303. And next to that there's an old bookshelf, 403, against the wall with a massive metal safe built into a recess beneath it, which is 503 right here. So there's a room. Lovely, huh? So she's come up here, and then I can look at anything I want from there, what I want to look at. Let's take a look at this, I think it's a mirror, 103. At first glance, the mirror seems perfectly normal, but as you gaze into it, you discover something extraordinary. Are you Susan? Are you Jack? Are you, or are you Yolanda? Those are the 4 characters. And we are Susan, so we're going to go to 133. So I guess everybody can take a look in the mirror and find something different. In the mirror, you see a little girl clothed in 19th century garb. She is playing with a doll and speaking soothingly to it. Is she herself afraid? You extend your hand to comfort her, but the girl disappears like a ghost and your hand merely bumps against the glass of the mirror. Okay, so we saw a little girl. All right, so that was Susan's turn. She took an action. So then Jack has a flower, and we're gonna come all the way back to here, and we're going to combine our flower, because remember how the Madame Florex said that nobody gave her gifts, any gifts, or thank her for her service. So we're gonna give her a little gift. So we're gonna combine 13 with 94, and hopefully she'll like our flower. What, a rose for me? Asks Madame Florex, and her eyes light up. Thank you so much. It's a little wilted, but more than I have received from the other guests. I'd better put it in a vase right away. Maybe I can find one in the hotel bar. With that, she leaves the room. Put adventure card 13 back in the box. If location card C is in the game, place NPC 94 on location card C, which it is. So we don't need that. So the rose is gone because we gave it away. I mean, it didn't cost us anything. So cheapest gift I ever got given away. So, and then she's here in the bar, which I kind of needed her to get away. But again, I know some stuff, and I think you kind of seeing how you have to figure out, like a lot of clues are given, but you have to pick them up. Like her saying that no one gives them gifts, and me finding a flower and giving it to her. It's that kind of situation that you're gonna find in the game a lot. And again, because I don't want to spoil too much, I might stop very soon. But I think we can keep going a little longer. So just for fun, let's explore let's see if we can find anything in these drawers at 203 with Susan, because it's her turn. As you open the drawer, you find a somewhat unusual object. Take adventure card 68. What do we find? Oh, a black candle. Okay, so we found a black candle. If I would have, I guess, looked at other stuff in the locations, you might kind of know what the black candle is for, but I don't want to do that. So she's just gonna hold on to it, and if you notice, it has a little symbol on it. So, okay, I think it's like a cloud. All right, so it's Jack's turn, and he's gonna come over here to 111, and there was a conversation going on, so let's eavesdrop a little bit, see if we can get some information about where the bell tower is. You walk to the alcove expecting to find more hotel guests behind the screen, but there's nobody there. Nevertheless, you still hear a muffled conversation. The sound seems to be coming through the wall, but that can't be. It's an outer wall with no room behind it. How strange. If only you could hear the conversation more clearly. Do you think you can find a way to amplify the sounds? And you see, there's another clue. Now we have to find an object, and I don't think we have anything that will amplify sounds. A pocket watch, a napkin, and a candle, no. And Jack has a book, a lemon, and a key, so nothing right now, but if we keep exploring, we might find something. But do you guys want me to spoil it? That's the thing. It's from now on, I think we're gonna get a lot of spoilers, but I think I've given you a good idea of how the game goes. There's a lot of stuff to be explored in the rooms. There's a way to get the other keys. I'm not going to tell you how that is done, but there is a way to, I know that he has, for example, room key E, so he could come up to his room and look around and probably find stuff, maybe find something to amplify the sounds with, so that we can come back here, amplify the sounds, and then something needs to happen where in one of the rooms we need to turn the lights off, and that's why I needed to lure her away from the dining room, because as long as she's here I can't mess with the box. But now that she's away, I could come over to 701, and actually let's just do that since I already told you. So for her turn, and this probably will be our last turn, she's going to go to 701 and she's going to well, read, but she's going to mess up with the light switch. So here we go. The box holds the light switches for the various rooms on the ground floor of the hotel. If NPC 94 is on this location card, which she's not because we kicked her out and we sent her to the bar, otherwise read 731. So now that Madame Fleurux is out of the way, you can examine the light switches in peace. One of them is labeled bar. Do you want to flip this light switch? Yes, that's what we came here to do. Is location card H in the game? It's not. So otherwise we go to 339. The switch doesn't seem to do anything. Okay, so I have to first, I guess, listen to the conversation. Again, I don't remember, but I don't remember a lot of stuff. But you see how, and I'm going to show you something really cool about the game also before I stop playing, which I think I'm going to stop now, because if I don't, I'm going to get a whole lot of things spoiled. But basically, this is the game. You're going to be trying to figure out what item to use to do what in what room, and then you're going to be reading, a whole lot of reading, and a whole lot of trying to find the right numbers in this booklet, because the print is tiny, as you saw. So you know, it's, if you don't like reading, if you don't like story-driven games, and this game is definitely not for you. But if you're into that kind of stuff, where you like the whole adventure part of it and the whole mystery, it's not scary. The game is not scary. I mean, what happens to you might be scary because you might die, but or not die, but you know. Yeah, I don't want to say anything. And there is a little bit of the supernatural in the game as well. So if you don't like that stuff, then this is not for you. But if you're into that and you're into like an adventure kind of mystery situation, then that's it. The last thing I'm going to show you is in the back of the book, which I think is very clever, because I did get stuck a bunch. I'm not good at escape room type of games or puzzles or stuff like that. I am terrible. If you guys have seen the channel before, you know I'm a roll the dice, go kill monsters kind of person. So this is not my field of expertise, as much as I'm a psychology major. So, but in the back of the book, I'm going to show you, it has hints that you can actually use if you get stuck. Let me see if I can find them. Where? Oh, it's in the back of the, that's right. It's in the back of the manual, not in the back of the adventure book, but in the manuals. Let me show you. So there's a whole section of like, based on just like giving you hints. And you know, you have adventure card hints. So if you have an item that you've recovered, like say for example this napkin 16, and you have no idea what to do with it, then right here, where? So where do you find it? In A601 with what? 11 to get 17, and then of course you can keep points, which I wasn't doing, but there is a point system to know your score. There's no way, I'm horrible at these, but there's adventure card hints, and a bunch of them, probably most of the items are here. There's location hints, so if you're stuck and you don't know what to do in a location, you can look it up. And you saw that the hints are not like, you have to kind of like, oh, okay, I need another one to need another one. Where do I find that other one? So, but you can get unstuck, if that's a word. Location card hints, and then even NPC hints. So like the people that you get to talk to, you might want to, you know, like I think in my story, there was one of the two characters that I couldn't complete their secret mission, their personal mission. But if you look, there's their names are here. So okay, so there's Yolanda. So I kind of looked for my character's name, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I'm missing. Because I think I was missing like one thing, and I wanted to know where in the world it was. So really great that they did that, because then you're never really stuck. You might end up more confused than you were, but at least there's, you know, if you dig and you look and you figure it out, and a lot of things do make sense. Like giving the flower to Madame Florex kind of made sense, you know. Going up the stairs and going into your room kind of makes sense. You have the keys. Trying the butter knife and failing, well, that kind of made sense. And then you needed another medal, and you know, we could have looked around. You would have seen that the game would give you nothing else. There were no other items given to you, adventure cards. So you had to figure it out with the stuff that you had. And the only other medal thing we had was the room key. And you saw how we tried one, and then the book told you, well, you need somebody else to help you. And that's why in a solo game you need two people to play. I don't know that it became an issue anywhere else in the game, but at the beginning, to get that door open, you did need two people. And then there's this check marks that you're gonna put in locations, and it's gonna change what the entry is or what the entry does. So very clever the way they've done it. But again, a lot of reading, and if you don't like having to go through pages, which I guess us we're kind of used to it. If you play like Gloomhaven and stuff like that, you kind of used to going from in a book and browsing. But that is the game. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hope that now you can make a decision if you want to play this or not. Well, guys, there you have it. That was a little bit of a playthrough of the Hotel Abaddon, the Grand Hotel Abaddon, I should say. And it should have given you at least an idea of what the game plays through, and if it's a game that you'd like to explore on your own. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I also gotta say I appreciate your comments and the encouragement that you provide. I know that it takes effort for you to write something. I understand that. It's your time, and I am so thankful that you do take the time to give me words of encouragement. It's what keeps me going. So thank you so much. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and follow us on social media. And again, a big thank you to all of those who give us a like, a comment, and just a watch, because if you guys don't watch, then I'm not doing this for anything. So I do appreciate each and every one of you watching and exploring games with me. I do this so that you can figure out if games are good for you or not, if you will enjoy them or not. So thank you so much, and hopefully you enjoyed this one, and if you did, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the next one, but until then, may you play more games.
Trapped in her song.